All right, let's put our hands together to the Maasai troop. Nawashukuru sana. You might say you don't know what was going on, right? But within their own traditions, we know that Maasais are definitely not farmers, right? So it's not a harvest dance. They are warriors. And so probably just before they go into the forest as young men, newly initiated, to show their bravery to face a wild animal, the stories are that the young men would go with their spears and their clubs and they would fight a lion. Well, you can read the story as you like, read into them. It's part of Tanzanian culture that remains very much authentic from the north. Let me take you to the south, ladies and gentlemen. And this is a special dance called the Ngokwa. Karibuni sana. You'll see a clear difference in the way, in the implementations they use, the drumming, the type of singing, the dressing.
utamaduni wetu wa Tanzania.
Good to see you enjoyed that. So just before we begin, since we're culturally inclined, I asked these guys to remain behind. Nimeomba mbaki nyuma kidogo. Sawa. There's two parts of Tanzania where I know they do the real music. The central part, which is the capital city, Dodoma, and the region of Dodoma, and the south of Tanzania. So there may be influences from further south of Tanzania, Mozambique, Malawi, where you get the Makonde. That ethnic group occupies the south of Tanzania as well of those two countries. And so we share things in common. But a particular type of music that we play with the drums is called the sindimba. Wazee sindimba mnaijua? Vizuri kabisa. Kwa ni waongoze nyinyi kupiga sindimba. Ananza nani? Which one of the drums begins? So here is real music from Tanzania, the south of Tanzania. All right, let's begin. Whoa. All right, okay. You really want to hear it properly? They play, I'm going to stop each player so that you really get to hear these distinct notes with each one of the drums, okay? Okay, nitakuwa namsimamisha mmoja mmoja, wengine mnaendelea. Mpo tayari? Aya, twende. 1 2 3 twende, sindimba. And that particular play forms the basis for sindimba. So everything they play, the way they dance, that's the rhythm. So let me take the music back. Show. Let's show you how to dance. Wakina dada. Well, subirini, msiondoke. Ambao mna shakers miguuni. Mna kokwa za maembe. So now we're just going to be dancing with them. And you know what these are on their feet? These are the these are the mango shells or husks. Okay? Let's just dance na nyinyi tu. Kwa ingizeni mziki kichwani, sawa? Sindimba, particularly sindimba. Moja, and then nyinyi wenye mziki mtawadakia, sawa, nikiwaonyesha ishara, sawa? All right, let's hear the music. So this is step dancing, Tanzania Makonde style, all right? The sindimba. 1, 2, 3. Asante, msiondoke. Na wahitaji wakina dada. Wakina baba kwaherini. All right? So Tanzania is diverse in its culture, in the environments. The north of Tanzania is very cold because of Mount Kilimanjaro. The southern highlands of Tanzania are extremely cold as well. So you find Tanzanians wearing jackets and coats. It's almost winter throughout. And the south and the middle of Tanzania is where it's really hot, like this. So we also distinctly dance with our hands up north, with our waists. Middle of Tanzania towards the south, and our legs further south because of the Zulu, Ngoni influences. You know how it is, right? So we want to show you how the ladies dance. Wakina mama, tuwaonyesha jinsi ya kudansi sindimba. Na tunavyofunga hivyo kanga zetu, si ndio? Tuwaonyeshe jinsi tunavyodansi sindimba. Mpo tayari? Haya. So when you come to Tanzania, you just might come just to learn the dances, right? Or learn about how we dress and our music. Wenzangu wa kusini, naomba nione mikono yenu juu. From the south. Are you ready to try to dance with them? Do you really remember? Ebu njoo basi, wengine mpangeni huku. We're just about to get underway. Let's have a bit of fun. Kutoka kusini, from the south of Tanzania, if you still remember, please come forward. Mwanaume mwa mwanamke. Na mbona mnaona aibu sasa jamani? Au nizungumze kiao? Kimwera? Kimakua? All right. Now Asame, let's look at how the ladies dance after you've seen how the guys do it. Moja, mbili, tatu, twende. Thank you, Makofi. Let's put our hands together them. Asanteni. So at these dances, this is usually when the boys and the girls will come together. The village will meet. And depending on how well she dances, well, I might be inclined to say, I really love the way you move. I think you're quite special, and I will talk to her. In some tribes, I'll steal her. I'll grab her, put her on my shoulders, and run away with her, and everybody will understand that's the one I've selected. This happens all over the world. And so now when you do see the art, we bring on the cultural groups, I hope you as investors and also tourists into Tanzania, you will actually take a closer look at what you see, understand it, and understand the traditions. Oh, if you've enjoyed it, please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Please. Welcome to Tanzania. Unforgettable Tanzania. Asanteni sana. Naomba mpige mara mwisho mweze kutoka sasa. Tunatoka namna hii. This is how we leave. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as we welcome our guest of honor. Asanteni sana. Mheshimiwa Waziri, umekosa kidogo sindimba. Umepata kionjo cha mwisho. You've got a bit of the last of the sindimba. Most welcome. Let's please put our hands together to our guest of honor, ladies and gentlemen. We are truly honored to have the Honorable Minister Angela Mbelwa Kairuki, Member of Parliament and Minister of Natural Resources and Tourism, gracing this occasion this morning, and it's already noon, ladies and gentlemen. And so welcome to the Swahili International Tourism Expo seminar, and Honorable Minister, behind you, gathered, ready, are investors into the country. We've given them a very warm welcome, and we anticipate that at this particular event, they will get to understand the investment opportunities in Tanzania in depth, as we have excellent speakers from the various organizations and institutions, government institutions within the mainland and also within Zanzibar. And so I'd like to acknowledge your presence. May I please also introduce to you Dr. Teresa Mugobi. Please rise. Let's put our hands together. The Director of Tourism in Ministry of Natural Resources and Tourism. You'll be doing the welcome remarks, introductory and welcome remarks. May I please present to you the Deputy Conservation Commissioner within the ministry, Mkui Imani. Ladies and gentlemen, please also acknowledge his presence. And from the beautiful island of Zanzibar, which are actually two islands, Unguja and Pemba, we hope you have some time to cross over and just lap up the beaches, enjoy the sunshine. And you know, the Zanzibaris will tell you a lot more. There's so much culture to lap up within Zanzibar. Take your time. Pick up something, a memoir of Zanzibar, of the mainland Tanzania. The board chair, Zanzibar Commission of Tourism, it's my great honor to acknowledge your presence, Mr. Rahim Balu. Asante sana. In fact, if we have an open seat in front, could you please sit with us out front, as you have a role of speaking and also presenting Zanzibar. Karibu sana, jiunge nasi katika kiti mwishoni hapa kabisa. Dr. Teresa Mugobi, it's my great pleasure to welcome you to the podium. With our hands, ladies and gentlemen, karibu sana. Please do the introductions, and please welcome everybody before welcoming the guest of honor to speak.
Honorable Minister Angela Kairuk, Minister of Natural Resources and Tourism, Honorable Deputy Minister and Member of Parliament who are here with us today, Mr. Rahim Balu, Chairman of the Board, Zanzibar Commissioner for Tourism, Honorable Ambassadors and representatives of international communities, TTB board members who are here with us today, distinguished guests, businessmen and women, buyers and sponsors of the Swahili International Tourism Expo 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning everyone. At the very outset, allow me to take this opportunity to thank you all for your willingness to attend this forum, regardless of your tight schedule and the interest of you to have shown to venture all the business opportunities in the tourism sector. This is a platform that sets direction of all tourism stakeholders who wish to invest and operate in our rich tourism industry. As you all know, the theme of the event is to see the sector advocate for a sustainable agenda so as to manage environmental issues during initial tourism project development and investment. With regard to this crucial event, I would like to invite the Minister of Natural Resources and Tourism so as to give us her remark and to address the audience and to launch the investment forum today. Thank you all. Thank you once again. You are highly welcome and kindly invest in the tourism sectors, and more detail can be provided, especially during the presentation of the investment opportunities that we have during this session. Please bear with us. Don't leave the venue before the presentation of the available investment opportunities that we have in the tourism industry. I welcome you all. Thank you once again.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Minister, please, your hands.
Habarini za asubuhi. Na wasalimu kwa jina la Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Dr. Teresa Mugobi, the Director of Tourism at the Ministry of Natural Resources and Tourism, and for this event, representing the Permanent Secretary of our ministry. The District Commissioner for Arumeru, I've seen her here, and if there's any other District Commissioner present here, I acknowledge your presence. Deputy Conservation Commissioner, Mr. Damas Mfugale, the Director General of the TTB, Excellencies, ambassadors present here, the Chairperson of the Tanzania Private Sector Foundation, directors and other heads of institutions under the Ministry of Natural Resources and Tourism, our local and international buyers present here this morning, representatives of international organizations, representatives of tourism associations, distinguished invited investors, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, kindly allow me to thank our Almighty God, who has dearly enabled us to convene here today for the official opening ceremony of the Tanzania Tourism Investment Forum for 2023. It is my privilege and honor to join you in this important forum, which is organized to run parallel to the 7th edition of the Swahili International Tourism Expo 2023. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, for the exceptional commitment that she has shown and which continues to commit, and she has committed herself in promoting the tourism sector for our country. The commitment which is clearly evident here in Tanzania through the program of the Royal Tour campaign, whose achievement so far has already surpassed all the expectations. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I certainly feel honored and humbled by your turn-up, especially for those who have traveled a great distance to be here for this important occasion. I kindly, warmly welcome you all to Tanzania, and it is, as such, a heartwarming to witness both the public but also the private sector placing such high value on our friendship, but also recognizing the immense potential of the tourism industry in Tanzania. As a newly appointed minister responsible for natural resources and tourism, I vowed to not only develop the tourism industry, but to also improve and maintain the business and investment environment. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, tourism for Tanzania continues to be a cornerstone for the country's economic growth, and as such we've seen the tourism sector contributing up to 17.2% of our total GDP, but also 25% of the total export earnings. The tourism sector's success is due to the improved business and investment environment, but also as a cause of all the dedicated efforts of our Tanzanian government, efforts to improve the investment and business environment for both domestic and foreign investors. And as such, with this regard, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you all to explore Tanzania's business and investment opportunities related to the tourism sector. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as you are all aware of the Tanzania destination or Destination Tanzania is endowed with exceptional natural resources. It is endowed of cultural attractions, but also of long stretches of pristine beaches found in both Tanzania mainland, but also found in Zanzibar. These resources leave a remarkable and unforgettable experience to tourists who visit Tanzania. However, the aforesaid is the result of excellent environment, but also of the natural resources conservation efforts. Additionally, the National Tourism Policy promotes sustainable tourism and diversification of tourism products. Furthermore, there are also emerging products like the MICE tourism and cruise tourism that the government is currently working on tirelessly for their success, as I indicated yesterday during my opening remarks. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, earlier last year, Tanzania launched the Tanzania Royal Tour campaign, whose purpose was to showcase our country's abundant cultural and natural resources that offer a wide range of investment opportunities. The film or the campaign was aired to most recognized television stations in the United States of America, but also at the other parts and rest of the world, so as to promote the Tanzania's touristic attractions. The program, together with other marketing efforts, has resulted to a rise in number of international arrivals, which has increased from 922,692 tourists in 2021 to 1,454,920 tourists in the year 2022. This is equal to an increase of almost 57.7%. In addition to all this, the number of domestic tourists has also increased from 788,933 tourists in 2021 to 2,300,063,260 in 2022, which is an equivalent to an increase of 199.5%. A big hand of applause to our president, who has been our #1 champion for tourism, but also the biggest promoter of a tourism destination for Tanzania. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Now that you gather here as leaders, but also as key operators to discuss pertinent issues in travel and tourism industry, kindly allow me to share initiatives that has been taken by the Tanzanian government to make Tanzania accessible. The standard gauge railway, commonly known as the SGR, that is in its final stages of completion, is aiming at connecting and linking Dar es Salaam city as the area by increasing the fleet of flights to enhance the tourist connectivity to different tourist zones of Tanzania. We've also been able to construct our Julius Nyerere International Airport Terminal 3, but also we've embarked on renovation of the other regional airports. Distinguished guests, participants, ladies and gentlemen, I understand that this forum will not only showcase the areas where you can also invest, but also has the lucrative incentives that your Tanzania destination has put in place. Experts from the Tanzania Investment Center, TIC, but also our Zanzibar Investment Promotion Authority, ZIPA, shall share with you the length to which the government has gone in making investment in Tanzania a straightforward but also rewarding undertaking. I encourage you all to take interest in learning more about the profitable opportunities, but also the incentives that can aid in the growth of your tourism business in Tanzania. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, may I also take this opportunity to commend the organizers for their thoughtful selection of the theme for this forum, which goes by saying sustainable investment for inclusive socio-economic development. And this sends a powerful and timely message on how to invest in tourism, which holds firm our obligation to also conserve our environment. I would also like to take this opportunity to emphasize and encourage development and sustainability should have to go hand in hand as affirmed by this theme, as I alluded earlier. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this forum cordially invites all interested parties to take a closer look at the wide range of investment opportunities in tourism and hospitality services that are available in Tanzania. With its wealth of resources and under the capable and able leadership of Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, investing in Tanzania has proven to be a wise decision and choice with greater investment returns. We guarantee that you will not regret investing in our country. But should you also have any queries or require assistance, please do not hesitate to contact my office, which is always readily and available to provide assistance and support. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, with those few remarks, I would like to take this opportunity to now declare that the 2023 Tanzania Tourism Investment Forum is officially open. I thank you and thank you so much for your kind attention. Asanteni sana na karibuni.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the Honorable Minister once again. A very warm welcome into the country, and Tanzania is unforgettable. You will never regret it. Please enjoy your investments here. So we'd now like to get to the presentations, I believe. And naomba tafadhali wale ambao wanamiliki hii, naomba tuje tuiwashe tafadhali. Let me just get my laptop back on again. So ladies and gentlemen, the drive to open up the country, to welcome you into the country, started with Her Excellency, the President, in a major way. I'd like to raise your attention to a portrait to the right, to my right, as my presentations are coming up. If you can see them, if you can see it, ladies and gentlemen. David, if you would stand there, just beside, as your gallery owns this, and it's by a Tanzanian artist. I've already shown you the Maasai paintings to the left and to the right, but that right there is a portrait of Our Excellency the President, a unique and iconic picture of her looking out into the plains of the Serengeti. It goes for $10,000 US, and you can see David about it as well as for the paintings here. And so as the minister was talking about the royal tour, why don't you pick up a piece from a Tanzanian, uniquely painted? Please see David. That's another part of investment as well as tourism in the arts of Tanzania. Now let's go straight to our presentations. Please pay rapt attention as we now delve into how to invest in the tourism sector. We are unfolding opportunities and incentives. And the first person to speak, I believe, Mr. John Matthew Mnali. I met you earlier. Yes, sir. Please step up. Karibu sana with our hands, ladies and gentlemen. Director of Investments and Promotions at the Tanzania Investment Center. Please also introduce those with you from your center so that our investors may meet you and may meet them. And for every speaker, please do the same. And from Zanzibar as well, I believe there are others here from Zanzibar. It will be wonderful to get to know who you are. Karibu sana. Karibu sana, Kaka Mnali.
Yeah, thank you. So let me introduce my colleagues from Tanzania Investment Center. Please, Brandon, could you stand up? So I'm with Brendan Maro. He's a Principal Investment Promotion Officer from Tanzania Investment Center. My name has already been introduced. I'm John from Tanzania Investment Center. I'm the Director of Investment Promotion. In this presentation, it is divided into 3 parts. So I will present the first part, which will take about 10 minutes. And then the remaining part, my colleagues from ZIPA will also come and make a presentation, followed by TTB. Okay. Let me see. Yeah. So I'll start with the investment opportunities. And this presentation covers 2 parts. The first part is on the existing investment opportunities, and the other part is on the existing investment incentives. So if we closely look on the various opportunities existing in Tanzania, particularly in the tourism industry, there is a lot that can be done. Because according to the potentials that we have, I think you have managed to hear from various presenters yesterday and the day before yesterday on existing investment opportunities in Tanzania. But basically, in terms of tourism potentials, we have a lot. Currently, we have about 22 national parks. We have 32 game reserves. We have 44 game controlled areas. We have 4 Ram sites, Ramsar wetland. We have wildlife management areas, about 33 of them, and several other tourist attractions. Now, in all these tourist attractions, they require to be developed. They require to be invested. Some investment projects must happen so that investors can easily come and be accommodated. So investment opportunities exist into different areas that will enable the potential tourists to come and be able to enjoy various tourism attractions available in Tanzania. So as we speak, as the result of the Royal Tour, which was championed by our Excellency President Samia Suluhu Hassan, we have managed to attract so many tourists. Now, if we look at the numbers of tourists who are visiting Tanzania, then it doesn't go hand in hand with the existing facilities to accommodate them. Now, this makes one of the areas which we really need the potential investors to come to establish tourist hotels at different levels, 5-star hotels, 4-star hotels, but also to establish other facilities like golf courses, leisure parks, conference facilities, tour operation projects, and so many other tourism-related projects. Now, for the investors now who will be interested to invest in any of these projects, we have a number of incentives. which are divided into different categories. Then I'll come into that. But what is more interesting is that some of the incentives are not only available under the Tanzania Investment Act, but they can also be accessed through the special economic zones, especially for the investors who want to establish tourist parks, because the special economic zones revised the edition of 2012, Section 7E, it allows such kind of investment projects to be registered by Export Processing Zones Authority. But it's unfortunate that this part has not been exhausted as it is required. Now, I won't explain much on this because Honorable Minister has already explained when she was making up her remarks in terms of facilities that are already in place to support the tourism industry. Now, let me go straight to the incentives. In terms of incentives, we have basically two types of incentives. We have fiscal incentives and we have non-tax incentives. In terms of fiscal incentives, we have incentives which are granted by Tanzania, but we have also other incentives granted through the East African Customs Management Act. Now, for the incentives granted under Tanzania, for the investors investing in the tourism sector, they enjoy exemption of import duty on project capital goods. Now, these project capital goods must be defined in the East African Customs Management Act, particularly in the tariff book. So if it happens that an investor imports such kind of capital goods, then the import duty is zero. So the investor is exempted from paying import duty. But we have also another category of incentives which is granted to the investors in the tourism sector. Particularly, this category of incentives is related to the items or equipment which are not capital goods, but are used in the process of investment itself. They are required by an investor to be used. Now, if that happens, then the investor will be required to list down all such kind of goods, all the list of goods. Then the goods will be submitted, the list of goods will be submitted to the Tanzania Investment Center for final approval at the Tanzania Revenue Authority. Now, once these goods are approved, then the investor will be able to enjoy exemption by 75%. These are the goods which are referred as deemed capital goods. They are deemed as capital goods. They are not capital goods, but they are deemed as capital goods. Another category of incentives which is applicable now under the East African Customs Management Act, particularly for the tourism industry, those will be engaged into the hotel business. If they import any item, if they want to utilize any item as part of their investment project, then the items or the goods which will be imported needs to be permanently marked. So if the goods are permanently marked or engraved, then they automatically qualify to be exempted from paying import duty under the East African Customs Management Act. But for the tourism sector also, we have a capital allowance of 50%, and we have a range of depreciation allowance depending on the asset that an investor has brought. The depreciation allowance ranges from 37.5% up to 5%. The other incentives is non-fiscal incentives. We used to have 5 immigration quota given to all to the investment with the certificate of incentives if they wanted to employ foreign experts for their investment projects. Now, this automatic immigration quota has been increased to 10 experts. And if it happens that an investor needs to employ more than 10, then it will be given according to the ratio of 1 to 10. For any additional expert that you want to employ in addition to 10, then an investor must make sure that he creates 10 new jobs for Tanzanians. But for the initial quota of 10 experts, this is automatic, given to any investor investing in the tourism sector. But for the investors who are investing in Tanzania, of course, they are allowed to repatriate their profits after they have paid all the required taxes and the fees. They are also allowed to to repatriate the remittance of proceeds or payment of emoluments without any difficulties, as long as they transfer through the authorized commercial banks. Another important aspect is the existence of the One-Stop Investment Facilitation Center. The One-Stop Investment Facilitation Center is under the Tanzania Investment Center. So the investors who wish to invest in the tourism industry, they can access all services available at Tanzania Investment Center under the One-Stop Investment Facilitation Center. So you can see that the government has stationed the senior government officials under one roof in order to assist the investors to obtain various permits, approvals, and licenses. So the existence of the One-Stop Investment Facilitation Center does not override the rights of the respective institutions from meeting the sector requirement. No, the investor is required to meet the sector requirement as it is. The only difference is that through the One-Stop Investment Facilitation Center, an investor gets assistance to obtain all the permits easily under one roof. And according to the new Investment Act of 2022, the number of days that an investor can wait to get a response from any institution after applying for a license or approval has been cut down from 14 days to 7 days. And according to this section in our investment legislation, it empowers Tanzania Investment Center to deem any response, to deem any request that the center has applied on behalf of an investor. If that request has not been responded within 7 days, then the requested approval or permit or license is deemed granted. So it used to be 14 days. Now it's only 7 days. So within 7 days, if an investment center applies for a request or approval or a license on behalf of an investor, then the respective government institution must respond within 7 days. Failure to that, then the requested approval or license is deemed granted. So as you can see, we have services related on issuance of residence permit, tax identification number, national identification numbers, compliance with the environment, compliance with the standards, acquisition of land, company registration, business license, and work permits. Now, in terms of incentives, as I've said, we have basically 3 categories. And according to the new investment legislation, the amount of investment that is eligible for Tanzanians to obtain a certificate of incentives and access the tax incentives has been reduced to $50,000. So under this category, we have mainly 3 categories, as I've said. We have normal investors, we have strategic investors, and we have special strategic investors. So for the normal investors, the minimum capital requirement for foreign investors is $500,000, whereas for the locals is $50,000. For the strategic investors, the minimum capital requirement for locals is $20 million, whereas for foreign investors is $50 million, and for the special strategic investors is $300 million. Now, the minimum threshold that you can see, whether it is for normal investors, whether it is for strategic investors, or whether for the special strategic investors, it does not mean that an investor should come with hard cash amounting this figure, but rather this is the value of the entire investment after a certain period of implementing the project. Now, for the normal investors, they are normally given a maximum of 5 years. So that means within a period of 5 years, an investor will inject his capital slowly, until when he meets the minimum requirement of $50,000 if he is a local investor, and $500,000 if he is a foreign investor. And this amount should be reflected in the value of land and building, plant and equipment, furniture and fittings for tourism, motor vehicles. So all together, it should reach this minimum threshold over that period of time. And for some reasons, if it happens that an investor has not managed to meet the minimum requirement after this period of time, then he can request from the investment center to extend a period of investment. Likewise, for the strategic investor status and the special strategic investors, as I've said, the figures that you see, don't be scared with the figures. This is the value of the entire investment over a certain period of time. And the good thing with the strategic investors and the special strategic investors, they are given a performance contract. So a performance contract can be a 7 years performance contract, 5 years, 6 years, 8 years, it depends. Now the difference now, the other major difference between the strategic investor, the special strategic investors and the normal investors is on the package of incentives given to investors. Now, this is an area where the government is very flexible to accommodate the interest or requirement of an investor. That means whoever meets the minimum, the basic requirement of strategic investors and the special strategic investors, in the first place, an investor will be able to access all the incentives given to the normal investors. In addition to that, an investor will be requested to write down specific incentives that he wants for that specific project. Now, in this case, you can see that the incentives given to the investors are not standardized. They are given on a case by case. So the investors in the same sector, let's say in the tourism sector, investing in the same type of business, let's say building the tourist hotel, they may have different sets of incentives depending on what an investor has requested. So the investment incentives are demand driven. That's why they are not standard. Now, as I've said, in the one-stop investment facilitation center, we have the land officers, and one of their key responsibilities is to make sure that they assist investors to obtain land. We know that some investors, they obtain land by buying from the existing investors. So if that happens, it means all services that are required to make that land to be transferred to an investor will be facilitated by an officer stationed at the Tanzania Investment Center. But in some cases where we have our own parcels and some of the land parcels are owned by locals and who wish to sell, and some of them they wish to enter to joint venture with the potential investors. So this is an area where, or this is a platform where an investor can find out and see which land is appropriate or is suitable for the project that he wants to make. Now, so before I conclude my presentation, I would also like to remind the investors, the existing investors and the new potential investors who will be investing into a different sector, into different areas in the tourism sector, that according to the new investment legislation, now existing investors are allowed to expand their current operations and seek a certificate of incentives to obtain additional investment incentives for the expansion part of the project. So according to the Investment Act of 2022, now it is applicable to any investor who wants to invest into expansion. Likewise, those who are already in the tourism industry, and for some reasons, maybe if your hotel facility has been in place for many years and they want to do the renovation, also according to the new Investment Act of 2022, allows renovation. So we call it expansion and rehabilitation. So if you want to rehabilitate your existing hotel facility, still you can apply for a certificate of incentives, and then you will be able to access all the incentives applicable to investors in that area. So these are some of the attractions that we have in Tanzania. And that's the end of my presentation. So thank you so much for your kind attention.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we were listening to that fantastic presentation and the opportunities that are present with the one-stop center in Tanzania, that's where you need to start off. Honorable Simai Said walked in. We now have both parts of the union of the mainland and Zanzibar, the Honorable Minister of Tourism and Heritage. Please be presented and let's put our hands together. Karibu sana. Will you have something prepared to say, just as a welcome? No? Not even a welcome into Zanzibar? All right, asante. Nashukuru sana. Please remain with us. We're now doing the presentations. Karibu sana. So let's go to the Zanzibar Investment Promotion Authority, ZIPA. Ladies and gentlemen, Omar Musa, the tourism manager, please put your hands together for him. Karibu sana. Please continue.
Okay. Before starting my presentation, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Minister of Tourism and Natural Resource and the Minister of Tourism for Zanzibar as well. But also I would like to make an introduction for tourism stakeholders. I see a lot of tourism stakeholders from Zanzibar, and they give me confidence that they really mean the business. And they know the significance of tourism to Zanzibar economy as well as to the people of Zanzibar as well. So before continuing to my presentation, a lot of have already been said by our counterpart TIC regarding to the investment opportunities available in Tanzania and Zanzibar in particular, but I would like to highlight key areas which are quite different from what have been said from the presentation of our counterpart TIC. The first thing I would like to highlight the key facts regarding the tourism industry in Zanzibar. Why the tourism business is booming in Zanzibar is because of this key fact. The first one is the destination itself. The Zanzibar is very beautiful, naturally, and also the people are friendly as well. But also the tourism industry is also booming in Zanzibar because of the number of the flights that are coming to Zanzibar. We are now receiving almost 20 flights internationally that are direct coming to Zanzibar. And also we have about 500 hotels that accommodate a number of tourism that are coming into Zanzibar as well. But also when we are receiving annually approximately 500 tourists that are coming to Zanzibar accommodations, and our target is to reach 1 million, to double the number. That is number 3. But also okay, that is the key facts regarding to the tourism industry, and why the tourism is booming is because of that fact. But also I would like to share with you that the number of the investment opportunities still that available in order to support the industry. So basically we have a plenty of opportunities in tourism industry in Zanzibar. The first one is hotel. The hotel is still yet, what I can say, that the hotel is still a number one top priority in Zanzibar. We need a large number of hotels because of the number of the tourism that are coming into Zanzibar. So we have advertised the small islands in order to diversify the hotel opportunities that are available in Zanzibar. Because in main island, there are so many hotels, but the land is limited. But now we have advertised the small island in order to cater for the large demanding number of the growing tourists that are coming into our countries. And also, still we are focusing on promoting the sports tourism, because we need more activities while the tourism are coming into Zanzibar. They have the accommodations, but we need to stimulate the number of activities in order to increase their number of stay in Zanzibar. So we have the opportunities regarding to the sports tourism. Now we are welcoming the potential investors in a various sports tourism activities like skydiving. There is a Formula 1 is also coming to Zanzibar. There is a golf course. There is a cricket and a lot of sports tourism that can stimulate the number of activities for the tourism industry in Zanzibar. But the more important, before concluding my remark, I would like also to share with you the investment incentive, the package for the tourism investment incentive. We have very lucrative investment package for tourism industry in Zanzibar, but before continuing to showcase the incentive that we have, we must know that we do allow the investment in tourism industry for both local and foreign investors. But our minimum threshold for local investors in order to do the business, the tourism business in Zanzibar, is 300,000 USD. That is the minimum investment threshold for hotels. But for foreigners, any foreigners who are interested to do the business in Zanzibar, particularly in tourism, we do require to have 2.5 millions. A lot of people, they can say it is too much money, but because of the destination itself, because the lucrativity of the tourism industry itself, and because of the target of the government that to attract the high-end tourists, this is perfect amount of the capital that is needed for hotels industry in Zanzibar. But also, because of this capital, we do allow the investors to enjoy the incentives, the very lucrative incentive package for the tourism industry in Zanzibar. So I can share with you, I think. Okay. These are the lucrative investment incentives that are offered for prospective investors who wish to invest in the tourism industry in Zanzibar. We have the exemption of the import duty for all capital goods. We know exactly the tourism industry, especially hotels, it includes the construction activities. So all capital goods imported, they are exempted 8%. For example, you can take an example. If you are required to pay the tax money for your capital good that you import, maybe 100,000 USD, the government can exempt you 8,000 and you can only pay 20,000. That is a 20% of the tax money that is required. So this is also the advantage. But we can offer the tax holiday. We give you the tax holiday. We can exempt you 30% of the corporate tax up to 10 years. So when you start your operation, you can enjoy this tax holiday in order to what I can say, to reduce the pain that you get during your investment, during the construction period. So you are going to get the tax exemptions for corporate tax, that is the 30%, for almost 10 years. So that is a very big opportunity also. But we can lease you the land up to 99 years. So the land is leased, so you can own your land through lease up to 99 years. But also we have the grace period also for the land lease payment. Once you acquire the land, you are going to be given a 5 years grace period for paying land lease. So after 5 years, now you are going to start to pay the lease. So also you will see that. But the more importantly, we do allow 100% foreign ownership. You don't need to partner with any local for your business. So you are allowed to do by yourself. So 100% foreign ownership is allowed. But the most important thing is repatriation of the profit. So we do allow to repatriate all the profit you make after paying all the necessary tasks available in Zanzibar. So these are basically the incentives that are offered by Zanzibar. But in conclusion, I would like also to highlight some of the procedures in order for you to be an investor in Zanzibar. You need to apply for the investment certificate. So this investment certificate can be giving you an opportunity to get all the incentives that I have highlighted here before. So in order for you to register now, we do allow to have the online platform for the registration, and it can take you only 24 hours in order to be an investor in Zanzibar. So only 24 hours on your online platform, you can be officially recognized and investors. So I would like to share with you the platform that is Zanzibar Electronic Single Window. I know it doesn't seem on the presentation, but Zanzibar Electronic Single Window, you can just go to the address and then you type Zanzibar Electronic Single Window, and then if you want to apply for the investment certificate, it can take you only 24 hours if you have all the necessary documents needed for the registration of that particular investment. So thank you for listening.
Thank you very much for the presentation. Honorable Ministers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me go over the next few steps in the program so that we're all together. We're going to listen to two more presentations. I think one is going to be quite brief, but we'll start with the Tanzania Tourism Board. Director General Damas Mfugale, I'm not sure if I've introduced you at the outset, but allow me to do so. And please join me up onto the stage, the Director General, and the Deputy Conservation Commissioner in the Ministry, Mr. Mkui Imani. I will also welcome you for your presentations to wind it off. Thereafter, we'll have a roving mic. And for all the presenters, we'll be attentive to your questions and queries. And also, we'd like to know whether you wish to sit down and discuss further, B2B. I think that's an opportunity we should take. We'll then hear testimonials and closing remarks on the conducive environment for investors for the tourism sector. And I'll be welcoming the board chair, Zanzibar Commission of Tourism, Rahim Balu, as introduced earlier, at the very end, sir, before we go for a photo session with most of you, maybe a family portrait for all of you that have attended, so you can remember this occasion, this unforgettable occasion. And so it's now my great pleasure to welcome the Tanzania Tourism Board Director General for his presentation. Karibu sana. And I wish you had considered that I could wear like that as well as the MC. I feel a bit envious of everyone looking so...
The presentation here?
Yeah, I believe the presentation is here. All right, naomba tumsaidie DG tafadhali kumsetia kutoka kwenye console. Tafadhali. Presentation inayofuata kutoka kwa DG tafadhali. If you wish to have opening.
Thank you. To me, my role today is just to give an overview of the investment opportunity in tourism in Tanzania. So I'll just highlight the focus of Tanzania as a destination, the area in terms of the products. We do have 5 strategic products, which as a destination Tanzania is our focus. First, one of them is the nature-based tourism product, which is wildlife and nature-based forestry, the ecotourism. That is one of our major products, which we have been focusing on, but also it's an area which we want to go deeper. The second aspect is the historical and cultural tourism. That is an area as Destination Tanzania we also putting an emphasis. The other area which is what we call the beach tourism. The beach tourism involves quite a number of activities, including cruise ship tourism, as well as the beach tourism and all other related to the beach activities. And we do have a very important segment which we've all seen lately is growing in this country, the MICE tourism, meaning meeting, incentive, conferencing, and exhibition, or we call events, and obviously the adventure and trekking. Obviously, we are thinking also of looking in terms of the events, but events in this case is somehow, it's to the largest extent captured on the MICE aspect of it. But here is the area, is the sectors of opportunity. I've mentioned the focus in terms of a product, but this is the sector of opportunity where we are really trying to push and encouraging the international and domestic investors to come and invest. I know my colleagues from the ministry will come with the detailed aspect of how and all the procedures on how to obtain those how to get into that investment. So the first area is the recreational facilities. As a destination, Tanzania, we still putting a lot of emphasis on recreation. We have got a big country, but anywhere where we have specific activities or product of tourism, the recreation is an area which we think it's important to invest. So we're encouraging investors to look into that very seriously. The lodges and camp. In this conference, we have put a lot of emphasis on promoting investing in the South. South is a growing tourism destination of this country. It's a unique, but we are seeing the real need of lodges and camps accommodation. In that 5 areas of tourism, which is attraction, activities, there's an aspect of accommodations in the South. Much as we're putting the ministry through different projects, I have done a lot of effort to invest into infrastructure developments or in the areas of accessibility, airports, the road, so that all those areas are reached accordingly. So lodges and camps, it's an area which we are putting a lot of emphasis, and today you see also from the presentation of my colleagues providing you the guidelines which the ministry has already prepared. There's an area of beekeeping through our forestry department of the ministry. It's a big emphasis there. There's also the training facilities. We, as a country, and especially being putting an emphasis on tourism development, we believe investing in people. We need to invest in people. So to invest in people, we really need to make sure we have training facilities which can provide those kind of training. So investment in hospitality and tourism and training facilities could be for the long courses or could be for the short courses. The other area is wildlife captive facilities. There's a trophy hunting. There's the forestry, and yeah. Opportunity to invest in lodges and camps. This is the breakdown in terms of accommodation. For instance, in Ngorongoro, the number of investment sites, I would say we have 4. We have an area in reserve area locations. In total, we're looking out of 240 beds in Ngorongoro Conservation Area. In the national parks, we have 117 sites. Reserve area, we have 15. The number of beds on our overall, we're looking at 5,904. In the game reserves, we do have 28 number of investment sites, and reserve area location, we have 27 and there we're looking into 400 beds. Into forest and nature reserve, we're looking into 30 investment sites, and the reserve area 30, the number of beds is 1,200 beds. This is just a breakdown of the opportunity to invest in trophy hunting. For instance, in Selous, the name of protected area is Selous Game Reserve, and we're looking into 1,965 square kilometers. Then Selous, and then we have the Mgumero and Runga Inyonga. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome my colleague to take us through to the next session of presentation. Thank you.
Let me observe some protocols before I start where my colleague ended. Honorable Minister, Angela Kairuki, Minister for Natural Resources and Tourism, Honorable Minister of Tourism from Zanzibar. Let me also recognize the management from the Minister of Natural Resources and Tourism. I would like all management members to stand up because I'm doing this presentation on your own behalf. And maybe, I'm sure some investors would like to engage with you. So I would like all members of the management who are present, please, can you raise? Thank you so much. Also because I'm presenting on behalf of the protected area systems, I would also like the Conservation Commissioner present to just show up. Thank you so much. Honorable Minister, I'm humbly extend my thanks to you personally and the management for giving me the opportunity to lead this discussion regarding investment in protected areas. We have protected areas covering almost 1/3 of the size of the country, which is about 300,000 square kilometers, and has been distributed into 4 administrative systems. We have areas under national parks, which we have about 22 national parks. We have areas under Tanzania Wildlife Management Authority. We have about 22 as well game reserves. We have game controlled areas. We have wetland of international importance, which are Ramsar sites. We have areas under forest reserve, which are being managed by TFS, and all these provide you an opportunity to invest. But it is very important to note that we are in a business of promoting responsible tourism. And what does this mean? We need to promote numbers without compromising with natural integrity of our systems. And how do we do that? We've put aside, or we've put in place, a mechanism. Every protected area system has what we call general management plans. It is through general management plans that's where we be able to plan what kind of investment should be done. My colleagues took you through this, and I will repeat only for the sake of making it in details. In the area of recreational facilities, in a protected area system, this is the area which we haven't done enough. There is unlimited space for a private sector to innovate and come up with a product that can be extend the days for our visitors when visiting national parks. We are limited to game drive, we are limited to walking safari, but private sector has a room to do more, like zip lines, like balloon safari. This is the area that, as a government, we have not done enough, and we are not supposed to do more than what we are doing, so that we give a room for a private sector to come with innovation of type and kind of the product to cover this area. For the area of lodges and camps, let me give you a reflection. In Tanzania, we have bed capacity of about 132,000 only. If we compare with our colleagues, our competitors, who has about 507,000 bed capacity. And we're in a business of bringing in 5,000 tourists come 2025. These are very few bed capacities. If you look at Arusha, for example, we have only hotels, only 98 hotels. 98 hotels in the city of Arusha. In Dar es Salaam, we have 230 hotels. I'm talking about hotels, and I believe as investors, you know what I mean. Now, in 2027, we are going to host AFCON. And the same year, we are going to host Apimondia. And assume we receive around 2,000 to 3,000 participants or visitors in this country. Where can we put them? Do we have enough bed? So this area also needs private sector to think about. We are thinking of, well, let me give another reflection. Tourism industry is globally is growing at a rate of 5.3% for the next 10 years, 2023 to 2033. And Tanzania, from the same source, that UNWTO report, is going to grow from 1.5 to 2%, meaning we are going to bring more tourists. And this is a status of the facilities that we have. So we are bringing you into attention. There is an opportunity for every one of you to come and invest in Tanzania for lodges and camps. Because my assignment was into the protected area, let me give a reflection in the protected area. In Tanzania National Parks, TANAPA, we have only 4,292 bed capacity. And we have the thirst, we have a deficit. Oh, we need more, 882 beds for us to attain the maximum as required by the General Management Plan of Tanzania National Park System. So we are calling you guys to think on investing in the national park, and we still have sites to invest in Tanzania National Parks. Look at my presentation. In Tanzania National Park, that is the number of sites present, 117 within 15 national parks. But the number of beds that we need is 882 bed capacity. In Ngorongoro Conservation Area, and if you look at the strategic plan, apparently they have 853 bed capacity as we are speaking now. But they want to double up to 1,200 bed capacity, and there is sites to do that. But to start with, they've started with 240. These are at your disposal. You come, I will try to explain the procedure on how you can invest in Ngorongoro Conservation Area. We have game reserves in Tanzania, Tanzania Wildlife Management Authority. This is a different authority. It's a young boy in town. They use to set aside all these areas for hunting, but now they are coming with also phototourism, and that is the bed capacity. They are looking for 400 bed capacity within their 22 game reserve, which are across the country. We have our colleagues from Tanzania Forest Services. They are also young boy in town. They've been doing forest products, whatever that the building material we are looking for, but they've diverted. Also, they are doing tourism in the nature. They have 30 forest nature reserves, which can give you about 1,200 bed capacity. How noble is that opportunity? Please, there are TFS members around here. If you want to invest in forest, and this nature reserve, they're all in the, what we call Eastern Arc Mountain, uphill, very cold, nice, amazing. If you want to visit there, you have exhausted, you want to refresh, don't miss the opportunity to bring in investors to invest, and I think we are going to make our tourism industry grow. Hunting. And I know many people are confusing with hunting. If I ask you what is hunting, and most of you will say shooting. My dear, hunting is not shooting. Hunting, as the term it is searching. So what do you search? When you are in a wilderness, there is a criteria of what kind of a game trophy that you want to take out of nature. And this is highly regulated industry. It started almost a century ago. It is as old as a German East Africa age. It started way back 1890. Highly regulated. That's why we still have wildlife species of all nature in this country, despite the fact that we have been hunting for the past 100 years. Now, these are the hunting blocks in Selous. You know, Selous is as big as the entire country of Belgium. It's 50,000 square kilometers. Now it has been split into Nyerere National Park, and it has remained with only, I think, 2/3 of it, or 1/3 of it. But it provides you with hunting blocks, and the system is a bit different. Maybe I will explain later how you can access or how can you acquire a hunting block in Tanzania. Well, talking about what is there in our nature, in our protected area system, the second question will be, how can I get to invest into these areas? So these are the responsibility. On my left-hand side, it is the responsibility of an investor, and on my right-hand side is the responsibility of an authority. All of these four authorities has websites and has print material whereby all the opportunities has been disposed to you to access what are there through internet, through our website, and I think you have been going through different booths. They have all the information on where to invest. So our role is to prepare the information on where you are supposed to invest, and this information are available, as I've said, through internet, through website, and through when you walk along those booths. And we invite you to apply, and your role will be submitting your proposal. We will scrutinize based on the laws available, and you will organize your proposal using legal framework. And what is important here is we have simplified this procedure from number of steps only to 12 steps. And we would like, and we have said in the guideline that every authority should respond to any application within 7 days. I was talking about the framework. So they have a responsibility to respond to you not more than 7 days since they receive your application. We want to create a conducive environment, not to delay our investors, not to put up a cumbersome processes. We have tried to enable, put a very friendly, enabling environment for you to invest. Let me conclude my presentation in talking a bit on diversification. We have an opportunity on mice, as he said, but we need facilities which can accommodate more than 10,000 parks, and we don't have that. And I was talking to AICC friend of mine who is managing AICC. We have declined bids for big meetings. And one meeting for one person can spend a minimum of $500 a day. And if we have this meeting of, imagine 10,000 parks, which we can't afford. We cannot, in Tanzania, we can't hold, for example, Commonwealth meeting because many participants and we don't have facilities for that. So this is the biggest opportunity for private sector to come and engage with our government and come up with a big size conference facilities so that we can bring in big meeting, and in return they can go to our facilities and enjoy. And of course they spend minimum of 3 to 5 days. And another area which I wanted to talk about is cruise ship. I know, and thanks to the government, we are putting up a waterfront at the Dar es Salaam, which will consist also with a cruise ship terminal. The cruise ship or cruise line industry worth apparently 60 billion US dollar. And the only country in Africa which are benefiting this are South Africa and Morocco only. So we have a beach which is about 1,000 square kilometers and we can do nothing. The operators for the cruise ship can only afford small cruise lines with a minimum of 100, 150 parks in it. But they're also declining 1,000 to 3,000 liners which want to visit Tanzania. Imagining 3,000 individuals at once. They can be organized their trip to our upcountry facilities, national parks, whatever, and then we receive those numbers. But I have a good news to tell you that through the Ministry of Natural Resources and Tourism, we're working together with the Ministry of Transport, putting up a project worth $300,000 US that will provide for a big hotel up there, for the waterfront and the cruise ship terminal, which can accommodate for such kind of big cruise liners. With these few words, Honorable Minister, let me end here, and I thank you for kind attention.
All right, we thank you too, and you don't see me speaking because I'm in the audience. Let's put our hands together for the Deputy Conservator once again. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do a quick change of the stage so we can have a panel discussion. Karibu sana. All right. Honorable Minister, Tourism, Zanzibar, please, karibu sana. Right here.
Good afternoon, everybody. Based on that presentation, I think I should speak where I am, Mheshimiwa Waziri, kwa rukusako. Unajua tunazungumza kila siku kuhusu data zetu, Mheshimiwa Waziri. Pale anatuambia hoteli zote Dar es Salaam ni 238. Lakini nobody is talking about the growing number of Airbnbs. I'm sure in Dar es Salaam there are more than 5,000 beds of Airbnb. Uhakika. Which means kama kuna vyumba zaidi ya hivyo, Masaki, Oysterbay, Sinza. Meaning kwamba data zetu kwa namba wageni wanaokuja Dar es Salaam na kutoka zitakuwa haziko sawa. Sisi kwa upande wa Zanzibar tunasema watalii waliotembelea Zanzibar, Mheshimiwa Waziri, 550,000. Kwa hoteli zilizokuwepo Zanzibar na kwa vyumba vilivyokuwepo Zanzibar hatuko sawa. Hebu tuwa kweli tu. Tuwa kweli. Our data, all that we keep talking, it's not correct. Every Tanzanian coming from Dar es Salaam for a weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, akitoka bandarini, anajulikana Mtanzania, sio mtalii. Sababu mbongo anaonekana. Lakini anatumia hela nzuri, anakwenda Kendo, anakwenda analala wapi katika hoteli za shamba, anatumia hela nzuri kuliko tamtalii wa nje. Lakini hatumuhesabu kwa sababu akitoka bandarini anatoka yeye pale kama Mtanzania. Kwa kweli Mheshimiwa Waziri, data zetu haziko sawa. Study ambayo mimi nilikuwa pia na kina Damas, tuko katika private sector wakati huo, mwaka 2007, nafikiri utakuwa unakumbuka Halifa. Study ambayo ilikuwa commission na Akon Consultants, wamesema Zanzibar tunapokea wageni 330,000, and that was 2007, Mheshimiwa Waziri. Leo tunasema wageni 550,000. It doesn't make sense. Ikiwa Zanzibar hesabu yetu haiko sawa, itatu affect mpaka huko. Mimi nafikiri Mheshimiwa Waziri, kuelekea hiyo kama walivyosema 2027, tufanye an analytical exact data, tuna wageni wangapi, tuna vitanda vingapi, Airbnb ngapi, wageni wanaoingia wa Tanzania kusafiri na kwenda, kila kitu tujue. Hii itatusaidia sisi mpaka kwenye carrying capacity yetu. Mimi nilikuwa nataka niseme hilo kwa sababu ilikuwa kichwa kinaniuma pale. Naposema pale kuangalia hizo data, mimi bado hatuko sawa. Target yetu tunasema Zanzibar by 2025 wageni 800,000. Mimi I believe tayari post covid mwaka jana tayari imeshaimaliza hii hesabu Mheshimiwa. Na kama utapiga na hesabu yako wewe Mheshimiwa Waziri, wageni wako tayari wako wengi. Mimi leo niko Dar es Salaam, sihesabiwi kama mtalii, nakaa siku 3. Naacha hela hapa. Na timu yangu yote wako hapa, wengine wafanya, tunaacha hela, hatuhesabiwi. Kwa hiyo lazima tujue sisi wenyewe watalii tuko wangapi ambao tunaingia domestic, regional and international. Mimi nilikuwa nataka niseme hilo tu kwa sababu tuko pamoja sote. By the way, Taji is my schoolmate. Tumesoma wote Arusha Elboro. So it's good to see him. Well done, Taji.
Asante, appreciate it. Thank you very much. You can see we went to a good school, eh? All right, all the presenters, please occupy your seats. Get ready to answer all the pertinent questions, please. In no particular order. Everybody who presented, please come up. Except for the minister, of course. So our questions go to the presenters, right? We have microphones, enough of them. Please just raise your hand and let's get talking. We're not going to do this for too long. DG, please, if there are any clarifications, please join us on stage. Your hands, ladies and gentlemen, very quickly. Yes, right away. Please mention your name and where you're from.
Okay, my name is Sharon. I'm from the Netherlands. I'm a buyer. Dear Excellency, thank you so much for all your presentation. I got a question. I have a lot of projects as well for different parts of West Africa, and they are more in agricultural sector. My question in this particular activity is, you have said to your objective is to make Tanzania most business-friendly jurisdiction in this region. What steps should we expect to reduce bureaucracy and red tapes?
Oh, thank you. Maybe we take a couple, maybe 2 more questions, and then we allow our presenters to respond. Yes. Any other question from the floor? The second question now. Yes, we have one there. We have another hand. And then the third one, that will be the first round. Karibu.
Habari za mchana. Mimi naitwa Slim Abdallah, ni wakili wa kujitegemea kutoka Zanzibar, ni mdau pia wa utalii. Nimejaribu kufuatilia presentation za ZIPA na wenzetu wa kutoka Tanzania mainland. Lakini kidogo nilikuwa na concern. Zanzibar wanasema maombi ya investment yanakuwa endorsed ndani ya siku moja as long as all requirements zinakuwa met. Kama nimepata vizuri, nimesikia upande wa bara ina take almost 7 days kuwa respondent, kama niko sahihi. Swali langu ni kwamba katika dunia tunayoishi na with the automation ya kila kitu, kwa nini gap liko kubwa sana, 1 day to 7 days? Can we try to make things more facilitated, simplified? At least gap iwe kwa siku moja, kwa siku mbili au siku tatu. 7 days is too much, maoni yangu. Asante.
Thank you very much. Why is such a gap of 6 days? And I think this goes to Nkui, but I think there are some different jurisdictions and product involved. Yes, we have a third hand there, please.
Hello. Habari za mchana. Kwa majina naitwa Machumani Kiwanga. Mimi ni mwanafunzi wa research PhD kutoka Open University of Tanzania. Pia ni mtumishi katika chuo kikuu cha Dar es Salaam, Department ya Social Services. Swali langu linakwenda kwanza kwa alioleta mada kutoka ZAP. Waligusia kipengele kimoja katika eneo la investment incentives from Zanzibar, kwamba 100% of allowance for research development, au kuielezea kwa upande gani. Mimi ni mdau wa medical tourism na eneo langu la research ni SWOT analysis katika United Republic of Tanzania, Zanzibar, Tanzania bara. Sasa nilipenda pia kufahamu unapokwenda kufanya research Zanzibar unapata hiyo allowance ya 100% au vipi? Alafu pili, nafikiri kwa mkurugenzi pia TTB, medical tourism katika dokumenti zako umeziweka vipi? Sijaisikiliza, nimerekodi hotuba zote. Pia kwa sababu hilo swali na
thank you very much. I think we have 3 questions, and now let us now give time to our presenters to respond to those. No particular order really, but protocol-wise, maybe we start with the Director of from TIC. If you had any questions that was directed to you, Karibu.
Yeah, thank you for your questions. Let me start with the first question. It was regarding steps that have been taken to reduce the bureaucracy. If you recall in my presentation, I mentioned the existence of the One-Stop Investment Facilitation Center. So the One-Stop Investment Facilitation Center was established in order to enable investors to obtain various permits and approvals easily without any difficulties. So it was one way of cutting down the bureaucracy. This is an area where senior government officials are all stationed under one roof. So you can find existence of One-Stop Investment Facilitation Center under Tanzania Investment Center. And for those who will be investing under the Export Processing Zones Authority, we also have a similar setup of a One-Stop Investment Facilitation Center. So the main aim is to reduce the number of days and the processes that are required in order to obtain permits or approvals or licenses. But in addition to that, we are now in the process to move from the physical one-stop center to the online investment facilitation center, whereby the investors will be required now to upload their applications through the platform, and we have already launched, and some key areas of permits and approvals have already been started to work. So at the moment as we speak, let's say if you want to apply for a certificate of incentives, then you don't need to come physically to the investment center. You can upload it in the platform, and then the officers will be able to process. So this one helps to cut down bureaucracy. I think you have responded well to your worry. The other one was regarding on the number of days. I mentioned 7 days, but the number of days that I mentioned, the 7 days, it doesn't mean those are the days that an investor can obtain a specific permit. But that was a range of days from 1 to 7, meaning that in the process, some of the permits will require to be processed only within 1 hour or 2 hours. I'll give you an example of such permits or licenses. For instance, those who wish to register new companies, you can do company registration within a day, and it's not a day as such, only a matter of hours, because you do it online. You don't need to come to TIC physically. And for those who want, let's say, to apply for a business license, for an industrial license, it's the same. But if you need to get a derivative title, that one can take a maximum up to 7 days, because the other part will require your side to finish the required documents in order to continue with the process. So the number of days that I was referring to is the maximum number of days, and particularly it works in licenses which are obtained outside the one-stop investment facilitation center, where the Tanzania Investment Center now will need to make follow-up to a respective institution if it is a sector-based approval or license. And that's why we said, I said, if it exceeds 7 days, then the required license or approval or license is deemed granted. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Nkoi, thank you very much, Director of Promotion from TIC.
Yeah, I would like to add on the 7 days. The 7 days was maximum, but here we are talking on the proposal application to invest in the protected areas. The proposal is accompanied with the business plan, also is accompanied with environmental impact assessment. So our team has to go through and see if it is ecologically sound, and before they reply to an applicant. That's why we are saying maximum of 7 days. They have to respond to an applicant. This is because we have to scrutinize the details of the proposal application. It's different from when you're just looking for a license. This requires a detailed technical scrutinization of the proposal. Cannot be done in hours. It needs put together technical personnel to look at the social aspect, environmental aspect, ecological aspect, and all other aspects regarding conservation ethics.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nkoi. Yes, there was a question directed to Zipper, and that has to do with the applicants for if they're also entitled to the 100% allowance when they come to research in Zanzibar. Karibu.
Asante sana. Thank you for your observations. Labda kwenye hili naomba nikuelezee kwamba basically sasa hivi tuna research coordinating units ambao it is centrally coordinated under the Zanzibar Planning Commissions. Hawa ndio wanahusika na kuratibu masuala yote ya kitafiti kitaifa. Lakini what we do as a center that promotes the investment in Zanzibar, tunajua kwamba the research is the source of knowledge. Tunajua kwamba research is the source of innovations ambazo ndizo zinazokuja kwenye uwekezaji na vitu vingine kama hivyo. Sasa tunaposema kwamba incentives ambazo tunatoa ni 100% kwa wale wanaofanya research and developments ambazo more related na zile sectors zinazokuza uchumi kwa Zanzibar. It is not an academic issues. It is more related na masuala ya kiuchumi na maendeleo ya nchi. Kwa hiyo you are exempted kwa permit zote ambazo kwa pengine ulitakiwa uwe nazo kama ni researchers, basi sisi tutakufacilitate kuweza kuwa exempted hizo permit. 100% utaweza kufanya research yako na ukapata majibu mazuri na ukashare yale maamuzi kwa ajili ya kuinform the decisions ambazo zipo serikalini. That's how it operates.
Thank you very much, representative from ZIPA. There was a question from, if you got it right, I wanted him to, yeah, I also didn't get it quite well. Will you come again? Yes, our researcher from OUT. Yeah, mrudia kidogo.
Yeah, asante. Swali langu lilikuwa ni kuhusiana na TTB na medical tourism. Nimejaribu kufuatilia hotuba zote, naona kama haijaguswa. Sijui mna mkakati gani?
Asante.
Kama zao la utalii mojawapo.
Asante.
Karibu.
Yeah. So, thank you for the question. But you see, there are many forms of tourism. I've mentioned earlier, the area which I mentioned during the presentation was the focus areas, which currently we are focusing as a destination. I've mentioned about mice and the rest. But also medical tourism, it's another form which we are working on it. But we can't, you see, when you develop a tourism product, you have to look into many aspects. I've mentioned about the 5 A's, the attraction, activities, accessibility, infrastructure, and the like. So even medical tourism, we need to have infrastructure. We've seen certain destinations like India where they've done very well into medical tourism. But again, if you look, it's not only about attracting people to come and do medical tourism, we also have to look the infrastructure which support that product. So it's part of our plan, and we've been working with various institutions on how to develop that product. When it's ready, we'll be able to start promoting as another form of tourism. I hope I've answered the question. Thank you.
Yes, so much, and we have a booth that is dedicated for medical tourism that has been managed by the Minister of Health, and please go and see Dr. Asher. Now let's move to the second round of questions. Yes, I've seen, Mwambapa, ladies are up on guns this time. Yes, so number 1, can I have the mics now going around? Yes, that will be number 4. Only 4, yeah, yes. We start with Mwambapa.
Habari, kwa majina naitwa Isabella Mompamba, ni balozi wa utalii Tanzania. Swali langu linaenda labda kwa waziri utalii na malikale Zanzibar na panel pia. Mimi nimekuwa nikitangaza utalii na vivutio mbalimbali, lakini hasa pia Zanzibar. Na hapa nina marafiki zangu ambao nimeweza kuwa convince kutoka Kenya, watu wa utalii, na kuja nikawaambia katika siku zenu ambazo mtakaa ni vizuri pia mkaenda Zanzibar. Lakini concern kubwa ya wana East Africa ni pale tunapofika ferry, labda sijajua kwa sababu zile boat na zile ferry zinamilikiwa na watu binafsi, lakini nauli ya watu wa East Africa apart from Tanzanians, wao wanalipishwa kama wageni wa nchi za nje. Kwa hiyo inakuwa ni kikwazo hicho kikubwa, naona hata watu wanataka kupiga makofi. Kwa hiyo tunaomba waziri, tunajua kabisa kwamba swala la kutangaza utalii ni swala mtambuka, kwa kila mtu anatakiwa kuhusika. Kwa either ilipelekwe ombi kwa wale wanaomiliki vyombo vya usafiri hasa vya kwenda Zanzibar, waweze kuwachaji wana East Africa kama East Africa members. Tafadhali, ni ombi langu. Asante sana.
That is well and clear. Can we have only two more from you? And yes. Yes,
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jennifer. I had the privilege this year to facilitate a startup hotel in Zanzibar. And I have been to the presentation. I'm sorry I was a bit late, but attractiveness of an investment depends on the opportunities provided and the facilitation, as well as tutasema miundombinu, sio? Now, kwa sasa hivi, it is not very clear to an investor who comes in what are the list of licenses, how much they cost. They say at a glance. So somebody knows at a glance what they need from beginning to end. You have to look for it. While in the process, some things come up that hit you, they blindside you completely. You get to a point and they tell you, sorry, you finished planning, you've started up your project, but sorry, you're not going to get a liquor license until December. Once a year, starting maybe December. This is Zanzibar. So I wanted to know, in the process of setting up and inviting investors and making it attractive for investors in Tanzania, because one of the presenters said that we only have 900 hotels, we only have, we have very few facilities. What is the plan to make it easy for somebody from where he is before he comes to Tanzania to see at a glance exactly what he needs to do? Not to come and discover here that, I'm sorry, you're going to have to wait for another 7 weeks because we are changing systems.
Thank you.
Things like that. Another question is, the lady that brought up the boat, the movement from Dar es Salaam to Zanzibar and back is seriously cumbersome. It is not attractive. It is annoying. Climbing in from the boat out on either sides, there needs to be some form of widening or some form of change or provision of the facility from people to move from Zanzibar to Dar es Salaam and Dar es Salaam to Zanzibar using the boat without having to fight somebody and get out with a broken leg. Sorry.
Thank you very much. I think question A goes to TIC. Question D, I don't know, goes to whom, but of course, we are responding to that. I said only two, that's one, and please, a lady here, the last one. Karibu, brief, just one question, please. And the media comes last.
Right, Mchana. The first question is, my name is Kwesi Johnson, I'm from the UK. You're looking to increase the number of tourists, obviously. What do they do when they are here? When you do a search online for Zanzibar, for Tanzania, for Dar es Salaam, there's very few things for people to do. So my question is, what are the opportunities going to be to invest in the arts, culture and creator economy, considering there are 120 nations indigenous to this country? There's a lot of culture to be exposed. And I had another question for the Investment Authority, for TIC. How are you valuing IP? Because we talk a lot about infrastructure, but IP, if you're looking at a technology company, which we are, creative technology, how do you value IP? I'll give you an example. Facebook was started on a budget of $1,500. 2 months later, it was worth $2 million. Today, it's worth $795 billion. It didn't have cars, offices. It had 2 computers, 2 people, and it was worth $2 million in 2 months.
Thank you very much. I wish Dr. Nolo was here, but again, probably Mr. Unforgettable, you'll handle the question of diversification of our tourism products. I said yes. Very last before the media guy comes in. Karibu swali moja tu.
Asante sana. Mimi naitwa Aziza Yunus Nchimbi kutoka Zanzibar, idara ya misitu. Napenda kupata labda clarification kidogo kuhusiana na presentation ya ZIPA. Alijaribu kuzungumza investment opportunities nyingi, lakini sijasikia investment kwenye protected areas za Zanzibar, forest protected areas za Zanzibar, ambazo tunaona kwa Tanzania bara wamejaribu kuelezea hizi forest reserves pamoja na national park, na sisi Zanzibar tunayo national park na tuna hizo forest reserves. Sijui anaweza kunisaidia vipi kwa kama ni clarification kidogo tu.
Okay, thank you. That will be brief. How do you diversify from the beach and culture? Yes, now back to Dr. will be the last. The media has to do something because they help us promote the country. Very brief, half a second. And please, my dear presenters.
Habari za mchana.
Karibu.
Mimi naitwa Doto Kadoshi, ni mwandishi wa habari za uhifadhi na utalii. Nina online yangu inaitwa Kadoshi TV na ndiye mtendaji mkuu wa TV hiyo ya mtandao. Swali langu linakwenda kwa DG wa TTB, na kwa vile waziri yuko hapa, nadhani inaweza ikawa na mashiko zaidi. Tunaongelea mambo haya ya fursa zote za uwekezaji pamoja na kuvinadi vivutio vya utalii vinavyopatikana Tanzania kwa maana ya mainland pamoja na Zanzibar. Lakini ikumbuke kwamba daraja muhimu la kuyasema haya vizuri na kwa nafasi ni watu wa media. Sasa nilikuwa naombi, sisi wengine tumejaribu anza. Mimi naandika uhifadhi na utalii tu, basi. Nilikuwa natamani TTB kwa kushirikiana na wizara ipate watu ambao wameshajaribu waandishi wa habari, iwape coaching, professional coaching ya kuyasema haya mambo, na pengine mijadala kama hii inaweza ikawa rahisi zaidi tunapokwenda huko nje au tunapokuwa hapa tukiyasema haya mambo in details na very professional. Sasa wizara ilitizame hili kama inaweza kufanya training za kimataifa na kitaifa kutujengea uwezo zaidi kama waandishi wa habari. Otherwise, thank you very much for this opportunity, na nina imani ombi langu litafanywa kazi. Asante sana.
Thank you very much, Kadoshi. It is like you've been in your ears. We discussed this in detail with Fugali last night in our way back to City Center. Okay, so we had 5 questions, dear presenters. No particular order, so if you're ready, please let us respond to that. And I take it back to Taji Liundi to conclude. Yes, Moja?
I'd like to respond on one particular part. My twin, my fellow minister, has requested me anytime from next week nipande boti kutoka Zanzibar nije Dar, tutafanya ziara pamoja, alafu yeye atapanda boti kutoka Dar atakuja Zanzibar, tutafanyia kazi kwa pamoja.
Thank you. This is what we mean by facilitating investment, very quick and decisive response to things that are challenging to the development of the tourism industry. Yes, nianze kwa protocol. Yeah, JC. Sorry, can we be
I'm going to take
attentive?
one.
Yes, please.
I'm going to take the question regarding the information of investment. On our part in tourism, the minister has signed a document for which provide all necessary information on investment, which is a booklet. It's available in the print and it's available online. Further to that, all protected areas, I mean TANAPA has the investment prospectus, TANAP Tower has investment prospectus, Chef West has investment prospectus. They go into the details and they even give even the values of what it takes to invest. So you can access this information through online, through website, but as well you can have a physical document printed out for at your disposal. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, Zipa.
Asante. Mimi nilikuwa nataka kutolea ufafanuzi swali la alouliza kuhusiana na marine protected areas kwa upande wa Zanzibar. Labda kwa kutoa uelewa tu kwamba ZIPA inahusiana na kupromote general investment kwanza. La pili imekuwa mandated ku-administer investment kwenye free economic zone also. Hizo ni mandated, lakini in general kwa maana mtu yoyote ambaye anahitaji kuja kuwekeza kwa sababu we are trying to attract a private capital. Yani ni mtu binafsi mwenyewe na interest yake na preference yake anahitaji kuwekeza kwenye nini. Sisi tunachokifanya ni kuratibu na kuweza kumsaidia ili aweze kuseto. Sasa akiwa yuko interested kwenye sekta yoyote ile, sisi ndo ni bridge kwake kwamba tutaweza kumlink kwenye hiyo sectors, na kama kuna miongozo yoyote ambayo inahitajika kwenye uwekezaji wa hiyo specific sectors, basi tutaweza kumrahisishia. Lakini what we do to facilitate wewe uweze kuwa kuseto your business here. Tunachokifanya kurahisisha huduma zote ambazo zinahitajika kwenye uwekezaji wako, vibali vyote ambavyo vinahitajika kwenye hiyo biashara ambayo wewe unapata, sisi tunasaidia kutoa. Sasa ni sekta nyingine nazo kufunguka kuweza kuona kwamba wana maeneo gani ambayo wao wana attract hao wawekezaji, lakini ZIPA is kama ni gate kwenda kwenye hayo maeneo. That's kitu ambacho
nashukuru sana. TIC on the number of licenses that someone requires to come and invest. Karibu.
Actually, mine is on IPs.
Karibu.
Yeah. Basically, you are referring to projects which starts small and grows big, and we are giving an example of an IPs. From the investment point of view, what you are required to do is, in the first place, you have to comply with the law, because the minimum threshold is a legal requirement. But what is important is to make sure that the projected investment is well stated in your business plan. That means you will spread the investment cost over a certain period of time. If it is 3 years or 4 years or 5 years, then that's when the minimum threshold will be able to be attained. Now, if such kind of an investment project meets that requirement, then of course you can start whatever size you want to start with. And obviously after 3 or 4 years, your project will grow bigger and bigger and be able to comply with the legal requirement. So what is important is to reflect, your figures should be reflected in your business plan as your projected investment of that amount. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Last, Director General TTB, you had two small ones. What are you doing, or what are the plans to building the capacity of the media to promote tourism, but again, Dar es Salaam to be a tourism hotspot? Karibu.
Thank you. The person who has asked me a question has preempted me. Actually, it's one strategy to do educational sort of tour or training for those strategic tourism journalists, so that first, we're really having issues with the reporters, on how to report the tourism activities as well as statistics of this country. So it's an area which is the Tanzania Tourism Board working with the ministry to make sure we come up with a plan on how to assist or building capacity to the journalists, especially those focusing on tourism. The second is on the issue of diversification. For Dar es Salaam, for instance, we had a discussion with the regional commissioner of Dar es Salaam, and not only Dar es Salaam, we are focusing on all regions in the country, because local authorities, TAMISEMI, they are the one actually who owns those areas when it comes to activities, especially on tourism. So we are coming up with a plan, working together, and how we can assist on promoting and creating activities and experience in different regions of the country. Thank you.
Thank you, Director General. And I think what I'm getting from the DT is that we are opening a link. If you have more questions than this, please go to the link and post your questions, and be sure that we'll post our response to that. But again, the report will be out within 2 weeks, and that will be shared across. So please get the link, and of course leave your contacts with us so that we can communicate the report after that. On that, Taji, thank you very much for the opportunity. I enjoyed really. Yes, something there? Oh, please. The mic is not on.
I just want to add something on the issues raised on IP. Recently, Zanzibar have launched the Silicon Valley in Zanzibar. This is to invite all attractive tech companies that want to invest in a tech industry in Zanzibar. We have demarcated the land specific for the tech industry in Fumba Town. We have the technological city in Fumba Town. We are also expecting that the new law that is now on the preparation for establishing the new law, the investment law, can accommodate most lucrative investment incentive for the tech industry that are coming to Zanzibar. So we are welcome all the tech industry that are looking for the opportunity to invest in a tech industry in Zanzibar.
Thank you very much. Jamani, makofi mengi sana kwa presenters. Yes, that's what we get, when we have such a lineup of distinguished experts from the field. Back to you, Taji.
Thank you very much. Please stand and take a group photo. And we put our hands together for you once again for being a great resource from the floor, from the stage. And ladies and gentlemen, let's also applaud our ministers, for they came in and are actually going to take steps with some of your queries. And so let's also put our hands together for them as well. Asanteni sana viongozi. I'd also like to present to you the Deputy Minister, Dunstan Kitandula. Please stand and please applaud his presence. And this shows just how much the government of the United Republic of Tanzania values you as investors by bringing the highest level at government to actually attend this particular meeting. And so, as we move forward, there are two things that we'd like to do now. One is we'd like to hear a quick testimonial from an established business person, and also the closing remarks from you, Board Chair, Zanzibar Commission of Tourism, Rahim Balu, very well respected in the industry. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for him as he approaches the main podium. We still have a day to go. You've met the officials, you've seen them face to face. even after this event, please offer them your card, find time to speak. I hope all the organizations have a place where the investors can come and sit down and clear out the issues with you. Is that good? All right, that's the way to go. Karibu sana.
You might have to use this when we did a little movement. We disturbed this mic. It's back on again. Interesting.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm actually in a very difficult situation because I'm supposed to give a comment or a testimonial, but at the same time make a closing remark. So please bear with me if I mess it up somewhere. Honorable Angela Kariuki, Minister for Natural Resources and Tourism, Honorable Dustin Kitandula, Deputy Minister. I see my minister is gone, so Ms. Teresa Mgobi, Director for Tourism, the Director for Tourism in Zanzibar, Dr. Abdullah, colleagues, friends, all protocols observed. A very good afternoon to you all. My name is Rahim Balu. I originate from Zanzibar, in Tanzania kwa kuzaliwa, na basically ni mwekezaji Zanzibar. My background, I come into a family of tourism industry and production industry. My dad had been one of the pioneers of transforming the tourism industry in Zanzibar because he was the guy involved with His Highness the Aga Khan to bring the first Serena Hotel to Zanzibar. So I do have a little bit being pumped into me. However, my own industry is, I focus more on a production, but tourism has been part of it now and I'm into it. Let me acknowledge the effort being put in by all the governments, the United Republic of Tanzania and the Revolutionary Government of Zanzibar. The leadership, the vision of achieving something where they thought that its tourism is a line where it can bring a more valuable benefit to the people of Tanzania. However, I feel like as an investor, I'm talking as an investor, not as a government official now, but as an investor. We feel like as the private sector has moved too fast while the government has been taking the steps a bit slower. There are certain things which we need to go parallel to sustain and oblige the needs of the industry. For example, we are welcoming a lot of investment as a one-stop center, but I don't know if we have realized that tourism is a cross-cutting sector. Ni sekta mtambuka. Wakati tunaanza kulaumu kwa nini utalii haufanyi hivi, lazima na wenzetu katika sekta nyingine ya utalii wende na mwendo na kasi ya utalii. Hatuwezi kusema tunakaribisha hoteli zije, wawekezaji waje, lakini bado hatuna umeme wa kutosha. Hatuwezi kusema tuje wawekezaji waje, waendeleze, lakini hatuna kiwanda cha kutayarisha mashuka yetu wenyewe hapa. Kila kitu lazima kitoke China. Hatuwezi kukaribisha wawekezaji wakati sisi wenyewe bado laundry services hatunazo za kutosha. Sasa my appeal to the investment centers, tunaomba msifocus only katika main hotels only. Look also into the value chain ambayo hotel industry inahitaji. Tuweze kujitegemea. Hapo pia kuna nafasi kubwa sana kuzalisha ajira na vile vile kutoa nafasi katika uchumi wetu. Sio kila mtu awe anakuja kwenye hoteli tu, okay tunakubali. Tuangalie vile vile maji. how much stress we are putting on the infrastructure on our roads. Gari ya maji inatoka inapita inaingia ndani kule, inaharibu mazingira, inaharibu barabara, inaumiza viumbe vinavyoishi pale. So as an investor, that's where I feel we need to focus. We should not only focus in one aspect. Let's have a wider thinking, a wider horizon. When we are talking about forest and hunting and everything, we should also be talking about, once you allow somebody to invest there and put a 20-bed or 20 tents over there to accommodate 200 tourists, how are you going to bring the services into that area? How can we make accessibility of reaching to that area? Hapo ndio wawekezaji wanaanza kupata shida, kwa sababu it adds up to the cost of production, it adds up to the cost of destination. We are becoming unnecessarily an expensive destination. My other issue is, or request, Mheshimiwa Waziri au mawaziri na wabunge walokuwepo, please open the skies of Tanzania. Let Tanzania be accessible easily. Wageni wetu wengi wanaokuja wanataka kuja last minute, and they are high-end spenders. Usually mtu ameamua kwenda kuspend weekend into Tanzania, maybe go Serengeti, Zanzibar, Mafia, yuko tayari kutumia chochote. Chakula hata ukimuzia kwa $10 ataridhia, $50 pia ataridhia. Lakini the process of getting the visa is becoming an issue. Referral visa has gone with time. Let us become an open destination. Hii mambo ya referral visa mpaka ipite, mtu unaambiwa anapata approval only 1 week before. Wenzetu hawasafiri kama hivyo. Wenzetu wanasafiri pengine last minute, wanataka wa-apply visa yao on Saturday, Monday or Saturday night, washapanda ndege wako njiani kuja kuenjoy. We also need to add a lot of activities. Bringing tourists while we confine our activities into one way of safari and beach and bush, it's not enough. Let's promote to add another entertainments which can make people spend their money in our destination. Also other concern is regional markets. We are too expensive traveling regionally. Na believe tuko wengi sana hapa, ukitaka kwenda Dubai au ukitaka kwenda South Africa is much more cheaper than you traveling to Mwanza, Kigoma, or even going to Nairobi. Why is that? Make regional transport affordability. Everybody should be able to travel anywhere. We have one of the excellent road infrastructures, but hiyo taharuki ya kutoka hapa kufika Arusha na gari njiani tunaijua sote hapa. Vita vyetu vya kuamua bora upande ndege uje zako, lakini ukipanda gari unakisia utafika kwa masaa 8 au 6, you can reach 12 hours na bado hujamaliza. Hii ndio mtambuka ambayo inatusababisha na sisi turudi nyuma. Hivi ni vitu ambavyo vinasababisha utalii wetu urudi nyuma. Tusiangalie utalii mgeni lazima atoke nje ya Tanzania au atoke nje ya Afrika. Let's also focus in regional tourism. Other issue is, while Zipa was doing a presentation here, I would like to bring to your attention about Pemba. Pemba is a new virgin destination. The government has taken initiative, is working hard, putting up the infrastructure. The airport is under construction. It's a new opportunity for all the Tanzanian East African investors. Now is the time. Come invest in Zanzibar tourism, invest in Pemba. Msije mkatulaumu kama mlivyotulaumu sasa hivi kwamba Zanzibar kila kitu kinaenda kwa mzungu. When the opportunity was there, maybe at time we didn't have those banks, we didn't have that financial capacity. But now everything is on ground and is easily accessible. I request on you all, come to Pemba. Time is now. Karibuni Pemba. So that will be my testimonial. Now I have a written speech to say about basically of the event. Honorable Angela Kariuki, Minister for Tourism and Natural Resources, Deputy Minister Dastan Kitandula, all the members of legal team, our leaders, portfolio observed, Assalamu alaikum to you all, and I greet you all by the name of the United Republic of Tanzania. Allow me to take this opportunity to thank Almighty for enabling us all to be gathered here today. I would also like to express my deepest and sincere gratitude for being honored and accorded the opportunity for closing the Tanzania Tourism Investment Forum 2023. Allow me to extend my sincere appreciation and congratulations to the tireless work done by the Tanzania Tourist Board and the organizing committee in making this event such a success, without undermining the role played by the sponsors, exhibitors, international buyers, and all other participants at the expo. Kindly be informed that the government and the tourism sector of Tanzania and Zanzibar highly recognizes and appreciates your precious time, as you have been able to forego your tight schedules and found time to attend the event and share your innovative ideas for the benefit of our industry, sector, and the economy. Ladies and gentlemen, I am greatly convinced that the show and the forum has provided a positive and profound opportunity to our tourism stakeholders and all hosted buyers who have been able to engage, consult, learn from each other the potential tourism investment opportunities, appropriate strategies, and ideas to lift up the sector in our industry. Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed an advantage as a business entities in the tourism sector, along with its value chain, to venture for such opportunities. The current technological environment allows businesses to access various services via online platform, but we still urge the government and regulatory institutions to continue to facilitate such forums for the potential and interested investors by providing and creating the most convenient environment for the businesses in Tanzania. May I also take this opportunity to request the Honorary Minister and the Ministry in general to regularly promote such tourism investment opportunities as the one successfully held here today, and especially in those areas of Tanzania which are yet to explore to its maximum. Once again, I take this opportunity to assure you that the government of the United Republic of Tanzania and the revolutionary government of Zanzibar, under the able leadership of Her Excellency, the President Mama Samia Suluhu Hassan, and His Excellency Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi, will continue to create conducive environment and cooperating with you in emerging investment opportunities, and also promise to take on board the raised concerns and the challenges for the tourism sector development and economic prosperity of our industry and our country as a whole. With these short remarks, may I now take the pleasure to declare the second Tanzania Tourism Investment Forum 2023 is officially closed.
Thank you very much. Makofi mengi sana.
Asante sana, much appreciated. So, Please pull out your cameras, because I'm going to take you to a part of Tanzania. I'll be honest, I've never been there. I've got very close, but it's the final region in Tanzania that I want to go to. So let me take you on a trip along Lake Tanganyika from Gombe National Park. That sounds a bit like you're coming from Burundi, right? Where the gorillas are. And then you go to Mahale Mountains National Park. The mountains of Tanzania, apart from the mighty Kilimanjaro, are absolutely stunning and amazing. Now I'm talking about west of Tanzania here. Then you come down to Katavi National Park, Kitulo National Park, and a little bit towards the north, Mikumi, Udzungwa Mountains National Park, and the Nyerere National Park. Now let me take you further down south, or maybe not. I'll take you to a region called Ruvuma. And they have a very special dance. Who's from Ruvuma? Are you proudly from Ruvuma? And so you know the dance. They call them Ganda. Can you dance with them? All right. Mabibi na bwana, before we take a picture together, let me take you to Nyasa district, bordering Lake Malawi. Ngoma ya Mganda. Karibuni, tuwapige makofi mengi sana. As they set up, I'll welcome the high table seated at the front to take your seats with the honorable ministers, deputy ministers, the DGTTB, our conservation commissioners, and then therefore afterwards I'll call you for group photos. So this is fascinating. Please enjoy. So they decided they don't need too many drums, they just need one big one. And they say when this drum plays, you can hear the Mganda all the way from Ruvuma to Namibia, Botswana, South Africa, and all the way to Europe. Let's put our hands together once again. I think that was fascinating. Mheshimiwa Waziri, pole sana. Hiyo ngoma ilikuwa inaenda mpaka rohoni hapo. Naomba sasa nikuinue wewe na Mheshimiwa Naibu Waziri na viongozi ambao nitawakaribisha hapa katika meza kuu ili tuweze kupiga picha ya makundi na tuhitimishe shughuli yetu. Mheshimiwa Waziri, Mheshimiwa Naibu Waziri, naomba mtangulie tafadhali. Vijana wangu wa itifaki watawasaidia maeneo ya kuketi. Director of Tourism, sijakuona muda mrefu, karibu. DG, TTB, Board Chairperson tafadhali. Conservation Commissioner Ngorongoro.
In a remote region of southern Tanzania is a mighty structure built in the age of discovery, power and trade.
Ni mji wa
Sisi watawa tafadhali tunakuomba ujumuike nasi.
This mysterious city with nearly 12,000 years was famous and beautiful than London in 8th century.
Ikumbukwe kwamba Kilwa miaka ya 800 ulikuwa ni mji mzuri zaidi ya London.
The city sits at the coastal region of East Africa, which became strategic vital place for the trade empires such as Arabs and Portuguese.
Kundi kubwa la wageni maarufu walioingia kwenye mji huu wa Kilwa ni Waleno, ambapo miaka ya 1498 kwa mara ya kwanza waliingia kwa ajili ya kutafiti miji ambayo wanaweza wakakaa na wakafanya biashara.
Trade may have been motivation for development of this place, but details across these sites show religion was extremely important for the visitors. Haunted with the past, remain in the complete emptiness, this structure is a clear reminder of how southern Tanzania played a huge role in development of trade across global.
All right, thank you. Subirini kidogo presenters. Hii picha imekamilika ya kwanza ilikamilika. All right, thank you. Please exit through the right. Please exit right. The picture is done. Please exit right. Presenters wote ambao tulipata nafasi, naomba nikukaribishe please. Board chair, karibu. Na naomba to include please from Zanzibar. Naomba tusimame. From the tour operators and so forth. Karibuni. Tuweze kupata picha kubwa ya pamoja. Please adjust to the right so that we asante. Shukuru. Sasa hapa na tourism stakeholders baada ya picha hii. Tourism stakeholders. Let's see how many numbers you are. Asanteni sana. Please exit to my right. Please exit to my right. Tourism stakeholders, please karibuni juu.
Waheshimiwa DC mlikuwa wawili, naona umebaki peke yako. Deputy DG na DG TTB, naomba tuwape picha maalum tafadhali. The Secretariat. Secretariat.
In the Tanzania coastal region, an exceptional island lies in the Indian Ocean.
Mafia ni kisiwa kipo Tanzania, mkoa wa Pwani.
With soft sun illuminated the clear water, sandy shores, and rooted forest, this island serves as a picturesque heaven for sun seekers, divers, and nature enthusiasts.
Mafia ni kisiwa ambacho kina vivutio vingi vya utalii. Cha kwanza, kuna aina nyingi za samaki na matumbawe. Kutokana na uhifadhi, matumbawe yako katika hali nzuri, kwa hiyo it's the best place for diving. It's one of the world class diving destination. Kivutio kingine, kuna Blue Lagoon. Hili ni bwawa ambalo ni asilia, liko katikati ya kisiwa, lakini lina connection na bahari, lakini huwezi kuona, kiasi kwamba wakati maji yanajaa baharini, bwawa nayo linajaa.
Thanks to its rich waters, whale sharks migrate to the Mafia each year.
Pia Mafia kuna kivutio cha samaki mkubwa anaitwa whale shark kwa Kiingereza hiyo, na kwa Kiswahili anaitwa papa potwe. Papa potwe sasa hivi ni kivutio maarufu kuliko vyote ndani ya kisiwa cha Mafia na ndani ya hifadhi ya bahari ya Mafia. Na msimu wa papa potwe ni kuanzia mwezi wa 9 mpaka mwezi wa 3. Tuna mnara ambao wa kuongozea meli, lakini mnara wa karne nyingi zilizopita, na kimekuwa kivutio kikubwa kwa sababu ukifika eneo la mnara, nikisema mnara utadhani kitu cha kawaida, lakini ukishafika, ukipanda juu ya mnara, Mafia unaiona yote iko chini yako kwa sababu ni mrefu sana. Karibu Mafia, ndani ya hifadhi ya bahari ya Mafia, uweze kujionea hayo maajabu.
Located 8 miles from Dar es Salaam, this island is one of the easiest travel destination in Tanzania.
Kuna njia mbili tofauti za kufika Mafia. Njia ya kwanza ni kufika kwa kutumia ndege, ambayo ni dakika 30 tu kutoka uwanja mdogo wa ndege wa Dar es Salaam. Na ukishafika uwanja wa ndege wa Mafia, sisi tunafanya utaratibu wa kuwachukua wageni wetu kutoka uwanjani mpaka hapa hotelini, ambayo inachukua kama dakika 10-12 tu kufika kutoka uwanja wa ndege wa Mafia. Lakini njia nyingine ni njia ya bahari. Unaweza kutoka katikati ya jiji la Dar es Salaam ukaenda mpaka sehemu moja inaitwa Nyamisati. Pale Nyamisati sasa utapanda boat ambayo itakuleta mpaka Mafia.
Despite its remote location, Mafia true purpose is to give visitors an unforgettable experience.
My name is Christian. I come from Norway, and we had a great experience here in Mafia Island. We just went to the lagoon. It was perfect. The water was hot, and we saw some upside down jellyfish. It was marvelous.
Tanzania unforgettable.
Tanzania unforgettable.
Nyerere National Park is a paradise, an unspoiled sanctuary of beauty which is capable of creating and sustain all life on earth. Located in southern part of Tanzania, this national park was named after legendary freedom fighter and founder of the country, Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere. This park is simply the land of living and legends. It is also known as the wild heart of Africa because of its richness in biodiversity. With 30,000 square kilometers, Nyerere National Park offers a great diversity of wildlife and landscapes, which is rare to see anywhere else on planet. A trip to Nyerere National Park is always full of adventure. This is Tanzania Unforgettable.
Tanzania is one of the most beautiful countries in the world, inhabited by friendly and warm-hearted people. It offers the experienced travelers the unforgettable beauty of nature, wildlife, and beaches. Away from the crowds, back to the essence, the spirit of Africa. Simple and inspiring. Tanzania Unforgettable. Coming to Tanzania is to visit the unforgettable. From one attraction to the next, each scene is more gripping than the last. Unforgettable, breathtaking landscapes are the order of the day. A never-ending wonderland that truly indulges the senses. With its award-winning national parks, game reserves, mountains, forests, waterfalls, lakes, islands, and endless beaches, you are simply spoiled for choice. Take in the country's long history, see the splendor of its cities, and indulge in its amazing food. Have an unforgettable experience in its world-class hotels and conference facilities. From the time you arrive to the time you depart, the unforgettable hospitality of Tanzania and its people will surely leave a mark in your heart. Tanzania is home of the spectacular and the epitome of beauty. Fill your life story with beautiful memories you will never want to forget. Visit Tanzania. Tanzania Unforgettable.
Udzungwa Mountain National Park is located within the Eastern Yak Mountain. This is the area recognized as the hotspot for biodiversity.
Sanjo-crested mangabe is an endemic primate which is found